This is a demo on how to enable WinPE on your ZENworks configuration management zone. Um, so we first start by actually searching for the ADK. This is a Microsoft Assessment and Deployment Kit. We just simply search for ADK download. It's usually the first entry in the search. The ADK is actually has two components. The ADK itself, which is a pre-boot environment tools or deployment tools, and we're going to go ahead and install this component first. I usually uncheck the other accessories that come with the ADK, so I just leave the deployment tools, which is what we need for this. Once this component is installed, we need to install the second component, which is the WinPE OS. So we'll go ahead and do that. In the past, there used to be only one component, but now since the last year or two, they break it up into two components. So this is now I'm installing the WinPE component, the second component. Okay, now that these two components from the ADK are installed, we'll go ahead and continue by uploading these components into ZENworks, into your ZENworks server by invoking the web console. This part is very important. We actually need to run the browser as administrator. The ZCC or the web console has a plugin that needs access to your hard drives to be able to access the files from the ADK. So that's what we need. That's why we need to run the browser as administrator. This is just for this operation. Usually it's not a good idea to run a browser as administrator, but for this operation only, that is needed. So we'll go to configuration settings under device management, and then after pre-boot services. In here you'll see a third-party imaging settings section, and this is where we are gonna upload the WinPE components. The first time you actually click on the magnifier glass, it will try to invoke this plugin that I was talking about, but since it is not installed, you actually need to install it the first time you access this setting. So it's an MSI, and just download it from the link and install it. At this point, it's a good idea to close the browser and then restart it in order for the browser to be able to detect the plugin just installed. So again, as I mentioned before, this is important. You need to start the browser as administrator. Going back to the third-party imaging settings section, we'll go ahead and do the upload. You're prompted to open the plugin, which is the ZCC helper, and then you get here an option to choose the WIM file. Since this section is for the 32-bit, you have to ensure that the WIM file that you're going to be choosing is for 32 bits. So the ADK includes WinPE for 32 and 64 bits. So under pre-installation environment and then WinPE.wim. And make sure it's x86, which is 32 bits. We click upload. Usually this part takes several minutes, so you have to be a little patient on that one. Now the next one is the image X. This is a Microsoft tool to be able to create and restore images. So if you plan to make WIM images, then you will need this to be uploaded as well. The path is a little different, is under deployment tools. And then you choose for x86, which is 32 bits. Now we're going to do the 64 bits component, so it's the same thing. You just need to ensure that you are choosing the WIM file, the WinPE WIM file for 64 bits, and the ImageX for 64 bits as well. Yeah, so for 64 bits it's AMD 64. Now we do the corresponding ImageX for 64 bits. Also make sure that at the bottom of the page you click apply and then OK. And then after a few minutes, these components will be copied to the TFTP folder on your primary server.